Okay, today I'm going to show you how to reconcile a bank statement. And what we're doing when we reconcile a bank statement is we're just taking the amount the bank says we have in our account and we're comparing it to what our company books say we have for that account. So it's just comparing what the bank says we have versus what we say we have. And here I have an example of a bank statement. The bank would issue this probably at the end of the month. And in this example, our bank is Rooney National, and our company is Van Persie Imports. And our beginning balance for the month was $3,200. And throughout the month, we had several deposits and withdrawals that make our ending balance $5,000, which I have highlighted in blue. And again, this is what the bank says we have in our cash account. Now, when we look at the balance sheet, we could also look at the general ledger, and we look at our cash for the Rooney bank account. It says we have $3,400 in there. So obviously, there's a discrepancy of $1,600 of what we say we have versus what the bank says we have, and that's where the bank reconciliation comes in. You just make those adjustments, and there are several reasons why your general ledger amount might differ from the bank amount. One of the most simple reasons is just because of errors. You or the bank might have incorrectly recorded a check, say for $76 when it should have been $67, and that would throw it off. Another reason is you might have paid checks out to vendors, and you might have deducted them off your books, but the bank might not have accounted for it yet since the customer might not have cashed it. Another reason, you could also have received checks maybe towards the end of the month and not taking them and depositing them in the bank, so it's just not updated on the bank side. And now I'm going to show you a simple problem of how to do the bank reconciliation. And here I have listed on the right, these are 5 adjusting transactions that should get us to equal the balance in both of these. And usually bank statements, reconciliations, are set up in 2 separate parts. The first top region is usually the per bank side, and the bottom is usually the per company. And first thing we need to do is our cash balance according to the bank statement. And if you remember, we look at our bank statement, they say we have 5,000, which I highlighted in blue. And I'm going to also just go ahead and fill in our book value too real quick. Okay, once we have that filled out, we need to go through our adjustments. And the first one is there's a deposit on January 31st, not recorded by bank, $250. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to add that deposit. We already have it on our books. It's just like it says, the bank hasn't recorded it yet. So our amount in our bank account is too low on the bank side. Okay, next we're going to look at our second adjustment, and that says we have outstanding checks for $600, $500, and $400 for a total of $1,500. So we need to subtract those because those are checks that our company has paid out and we have recorded on our books, but the bank does not have them recorded yet. Okay, we add those up. It should be 1,500. We subtract that from our 5,250. We get 3750. That's our adjusted balance. And whenever we make the adjustments for our company side, that's the magic number. We should get 3750 for both. And we look at adjustment 3. Van Persie incorrectly recorded a check for $14.76 instead of $19.76. So we need to add that back because we recorded it for too small of an amount. We recorded on our books for $500 too little. So we're just going to add that. Okay, now we're going to look at adjustment 4, insufficient funds check from Vermeulen Company, which was returned by bank $115. So whoever paid us, they paid us the money they didn't have in their account. So we need to subtract that because the bank never received that cash, which means our book value was too high. Oops. Okay, and finally, number 5, unrecorded bank service charge of $35. So we just haven't recorded that fee on our books yet, so we need to subtract that also. $115, so it's $150. All right, so $37.50. They both equal, so that means we did it right, and it's a good check figure. The bank, what they've accounted for of our transactions equals what we accounted for. And whenever you're talking about bank reconciliation, it's a good idea to talk about internal controls. There's a fraudulent activity that often occurs in this area. There's not good control in place, and the one that pops out in my mind is segregation of duties. You don't want the same person taking your money to the bank as the same person who's reconciling the bank statement. It would be easy for them to force balance the reconciliation and just pocket the cash. So they pocket $100 and somehow they just take that reconciliation and they force balance it to make the amounts equal per bank and per company. And I put this on here too. This is the fraud triangle. And basically what it says is most frauds occur. There's 3 things that take place to incur the fraud. We got opportunity, pressure, and rationalization. The fraudster will usually need some opportunity to do so, and if you didn't segregate the duties, a fraudster would definitely have an opportunity to commit fraud, reconciling the bank statement. The next thing is pressure. A lot of times a fraudster will commit a fraud because they have some financial need or economic pressure, or maybe they're higher up and they need to make the financial statements look good. And rationalization is the final one. Usually a fraudster will rationalize what they're doing and to make it seem okay. They'll say, oh, it's only $100, the company won't miss that. Or maybe they'll say, they'll never know, and I've worked hard for them, it's not that big of a deal. So when you look at the reconciliation of the bank, I think the opportunity is the big one, and just like I said before, segregating the duties will really help take that away. And that's my presentation on how to reconcile a bank statement, and I hope it helps. Thank you.